Welcome back to the show, everyone. Well, you know, we're all about conquering our fears on the show sometimes, because one of those fears of my co-host is a fear of heights. And I have seen this play out before, and it is a genuine and legitimate fear that she is going to tackle with one of our good friends for a great cause.
Absolutely. And his name is Marco Pasqua, and we are all going to be doing the Easter Seals Drop Zone together. Marco, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks,
guys.
So
let's start off by talking about the guys from The Buried Life, who you just met in the green room. I didn't know it was your dream to meet these fellas.
It was. You know, that was on my bucket list, believe it or not. You know, I emailed them a few weeks, last year at some point, said that I'd really like to meet them. Obviously, they're very busy guys, so it's not super easy. And how about serendipity to be able to go in the green room and see those guys? My jaw nearly dropped. I had to play it cool, you know.
Did you play it cool?
Of course.
Cool, right? Oh, aren't you those guys from The Buried Life? Isn't that how it works?
Hey, I may recognize you, boys.
That's right. That's right.
But they signed the book for you.
They signed a book over for me, and you know, they said to come over to their book signing this evening, and just, I mean, that shows you that life is truly a blessing, and you got to make of it what you can get.
Well, and Marco, when you talk about overcoming obstacles and facing your fears and conquering them all the time, I mean, this is something that you are probably better positioned to talk about than almost anyone I've ever met before.
That's true. You know, to everyone out there, I was born with cerebral palsy, and I was only 2 pounds 10 ounces at birth. I almost died several times, you know, at birth. But I tried to figure out to myself, what is it that I could do in my life to sort of push myself forward? It's very easy to be defeated about the things that come up in your life. But this is why I wanted to start my business, to talk about, you know, how to inspire people, how to get out there and push past those challenges. But we can talk about that in a second.
And you set goals for yourselves, like flying a plane. You've flown a plane. You do this, you do that. And then you email. Mike and I got the opportunity to meet you and hang out with you, and we all did the Timmy's Telethon together.
Correct, yeah.
And then we got an email saying, would you do the drop zone with me? And you didn't know, I have a serious fear of heights.
I know.
And you're my inspiration to conquer this. So Marco, because you are a motivational speaker.
That's right.
And you help people conquer their fears and do things in life, how am I going to get through this, buddy?
Well, basically, the first step of my program is essentially recognizing the challenge. So you've recognized now that you actually have this fear. And now, like I said to you before we went on, I know the exact day you're going to conquer that fear, because it is September 11th of this year when we do the drop zone. So.
Is that important to, I mean, when you're goal setting in almost anything, is having that target and making it real and saying, you know, this is the time, this is my window?
Absolutely. You know, if you set a goal and you don't actually have a clear, you know, target in sight, you're just going to be shooting like a shotgun. It's all spread out everywhere.
Yeah.
But the second that you focus on what you want to achieve in your life and you really set that for yourself, I mean, these things are going to happen. So how many
stories, and we're going to go down together, the three of us. You are actually going to go down in your wheelchair.
That's right.
And we're going to rappel down how many stories?
It's 20 stories.
It's really high.
And you know, we're not the first people to do this. There's been over 450 participants since 2005 for the drop zone, and they've raised over $1.1 million for Easter Seals kids.
And Easter Seals kids, and you've had experiences at Easter Seals camps.
That's right. I was fortunate enough to go through Easter Seals Camp Squamish as a kid from 1994 till about 2000.
Incredible place.
It's amazing, you know, and it's the first time in my life where I really felt that I could be free, and they made me feel like I was no different than anybody else that was out there, and I could do anything that I set my heart to. The counselors are great, the people running the camp are great, and now I can say they're like a second family to me.
Okay, so we are raising money for the Easter Seals with the drop zone. We have our team. We are Team Inspirational.
That's right. A little play off words, you know. I made the name of the team because I thought, you know, I'm an inspirational speaker, and you guys are Urban Rush. Kind of, you know, meld that together.
We have all set fundraising goals, but maybe we can talk about how much it costs to send one kid to camp, and what we're trying to do with our team.
That's right. So it costs $2,400 to send one child to camp, but that $2,400 goes a long way. We're talking about activities like climbing a rock wall, one of the first accessible tree houses. I don't know if it's in Lower Mainland or in Canada, but it's amazing to be able to bring a wheelchair up into a tree house and then look down and say that, hey, I did it.
I'm in a tree house.
So this is what we're doing. We're not just putting money out there willy-nilly. This money is going to create a ripple effect that's going to change people's lives. And I can speak on that firsthand because I was one of those Easter Seal kids back, you know, 10, 15 years ago.
How much was, I mean, can you put value on that first experience that you had where you felt like, you know, there's something I could never do before. I just did it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's figure out the next thing. I mean, that must be a hard thing to say how important that was in your life.
Yeah, you can never put a price on that. And of course, you know, having a disability, I've met a lot of idols in my life, and it's really what you do with that information. You can say, okay, this is just a one-off great experience, and then just sort of move on with your life. Or you can say, how do I build off of this energy? How do I make it more? How do I create it to happen in my life? And that's what I wanted to do with my company and within the Cube Principle.
When did you start Cube Principle, motivational, inspirational speaking? Because you were in, was it game development before?
That's right, yeah.
You've been an athlete for years and years. So what led to this? What made you?
Well, I'll tell you, back in '94 when I had the first opportunity to be on the Timmy's Telethon, speak with my good friend Red Robinson, you know, that was my first time when I realized you can look out into the audience, see these people's eyes lighting up, and when they're hanging on every single word that you're saying, the impact that that has. And so I've been doing this for free my whole life, and I figured now I can be able to do this and do a career for myself. So
so people can contact you through your website.
That's right. It's www.thecubeprinciple.com. And, you know, or just look me up on the internet via my name, Marco Pasqua.
And we also want to tell people that they can find our team. If they want to donate money, how do they do that?
That's at thedropzone.ca, and they can either look us up by name or Team Inspirational.
So now you've never done the Drop Zone before. This will be your first time.
That's right. It's my first time, but you know what? You just got to sort of literally take the first step.
That's the
step
toughest.
off the ledge.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even be taking a step because I'll have my wheels there, so you can literally just push me off the edge. But
you're going to have to push me, though, to get me through this.
No, well, hopefully we'll be able to do it as a trifecta going off, you know. And
Mike's going to do it naked. Is that cool?
You know, that is cool. I will be looking the opposite direction. But Mike, I'm sure all the ladies out there will be here.
As long as you're not below me, I think you're probably all good.
Well, that's good. So we'll make sure we align that up. And like you said, you might try to swindle the boys from the Buried Life to join us, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to dare them.
I'm going to see. You know what? If they have time in their schedule, I'm going to say if the guys from the Buried Life want to come jump off a building with us, that's a great idea.
Marco, we are both excited to participate in this with you.
And I'm scared.
Thanks. Make a better partner.
Well, I think it's fantastic, and you guys are truly amazing, and I've been watching you for years, and you gave me one of my first interviews back in '94, many years ago, for the 24-hour relay. So, you know, child face then, hopefully not much of a child face now. But
I got a little baby face going on.
That's it.
It's youth now.
No, that's it. You and I share the same gene pool in that sense, because we both look so young. Of course, you as well. Fiona,
Marco,
right?
Well done, Marco.
Marco, thank you. And we want to tell you that our team will be doing the 2012 Easter Seals Drop Zone event that's taking place on West Hastings here right in Cole Harbour. It's going to be happening on September 11th. If you want to donate money, all the money is going to, we're going to try and send, let's try and send 3 kids to camp.
Yeah, $2,400 to send a kid to camp, and we'd love to send a whole bunch of kids. So go to thedropzone.ca, and you can donate to any team, especially if it's Team Inspirational.
Thanks again, Marco. We're going to take a quick break.